more engaged in our lives.
All right, the intention of this session is to awaken within each of us an enthusiasm for understanding the dynamics and mystery of the chakra system, and then to apply this wisdom as a tool for healing physically, mentally, and emotionally now. And I can tell you that what our intention is not to give you a lot of knowledge and a lot of information. That's not the intention of this. This is to give you, there are some of you on this call that know a lot about the chakra system. There's some of you that don't know much about the chakra system or anything about the chakra system. And wherever you are, that's okay. We're also going to be using tools like theta healing and Akashic Records reading. Some of you know a lot about those things. Some of you know nothing about those things. And that's okay. Wherever you are is fine. The intention here is to awaken within us this enthusiasm. And we're going to guide you with that. But most of this webinar really is experiential. And we do want you to participate. So we're going to be doing a coaching with one or two of you, depending on how much time we have, that will serve everyone that is on the call. Okay. So the human experience is really is what the 8th Chakra Company is about. The 8th Chakra Company is the company that Bonnie and I started. And we do have a website, so you can go on there and take a look at a lot of some of the many things that we're getting involved with and information that we're posting. But the 8th Chakra Company is about mastering what it is to be human. Our premise is that we are not here to learn how to be spiritual. Being spiritual is something for us to remember. And definitely we're going to be utilizing tools to help you remember that. But the key is that what we're really here to do is to master what it means to be human. And part of what it means to be human involves a lot of different aspects of our life. There's our career and our vocation and our social life and our family life, which in and of itself has a bunch of things. It's all in the relationship arena. And there's a spiritual side, the mental, the mind. How do we nourish the mind? How do we nourish the body? We have the personal issues. We have the psychological issues. We have universal aspects of our life. And what we're really here to do is to help you look at the chakra system as one of the energetic systems that will apply to all these different areas in your life. So that workbook that we sent you, which, sorry about any of you that did not receive it, is really to pick an aspect in your life that you would like some coaching in, that you would like some support in, because we're going to look at the chakra system as an energy field. And there's a lot of energy fields that we have, but only truly one or two or three of them will we be able to really fully get to understand so that we can apply them as a tool in our life. So again, this is really about utilizing an aspect of our life and then taking the model of the chakra system and looking at that so that we can then experience how to be powerful in those different aspects of our life and ultimately in all the aspects of our life. And then the last thing that I want to say is that really everything in your life is energy and vibration. How you manifest and attract reality in your life is intimately related to the energy and the thought patterns and the belief systems. So that is what Enlightened Ladies Circle is about, is looking at all the aspects of a woman's life and how do we utilize different tools to then master what that means. Okay, Bonnie.
Excellent. So one of the things we want to recognize, we understand that the chakra system is common knowledge. We have some examples here of where you can find the chakra system. So I did a Google search of chakras in YouTube, and they even have a how to cleanse your chakras as explained in a children's TV show. So the chakras are explained to children. The Dr. Oz show just recently did a session on the chakras and interviewed a woman who went through the 7 basic chakras and talked about the foods that you would eat for each chakra to help boost them. And so if it's appearing on Dr. Oz, we feel pretty comfortable that it's pretty common knowledge. The last example that we have here is that the Chopra Center on their 20th anniversary is doing a webinar on balancing the chakras. And so we want to acknowledge that you can hear about the chakras in a lot of different places. I do yoga, we talk about the chakras there. I do energy work, people talk about the chakras there as well. And so you have a lot of resources available to you. And so we didn't want to be just talking about something that was already out there. So that is what Lily and I were talking about with our intention, that we want to look at the mystery of the chakra system and really look at it as how we can apply it to heal ourselves, which is something that's not out there to be found everywhere. So you may walk away from this and say, well, they said this word and I'm not exactly sure what it is. We encourage you to Google it and to get more information on that. And we also encourage you to really stay in touch with us through Facebook and through email, because we are going to be sending out additional pieces of information and posting things on Facebook, because we really want this to be an active group. We're talking about having a virtual conversation, which doesn't stop with this hour that we're talking now. It continues throughout the next 2 weeks and into the next session.
Okay, great. So now let's talk about the chakra system. And again, we're only going to spend a couple of minutes on this because, as you just learned, you could actually Google chakra system and you will see literally dozens and dozens and dozens of resources for yourself. And as our website evolves, we're going to get more information on there, because Bonnie and I have both been looking at the chakra system for years and years and years and years. So we're going to be able to help to dissect a little bit of those resources and give you recommendations on books and whatnot, because it is hard. There's just so much information out there. This diagram shows you the basic 7 chakras, and there are other systems of chakras. There's a 12 chakra system. This is the 7 chakra system, and obviously our company, the 8th Chakra Company, is about the 8th chakra, which actually connects the lower chakras with the higher chakras. So I could go on and on about the technological or the technical aspects of the chakra system. But what I want you to understand here is that we're going to be looking at the 7 basic chakras here, which start with the root chakra and they move up. And so they cover different aspects, and each chakra is associated with a physiological function as well as with an organs and glands and systems within your body. So these are like energy wheels, and the word chakra actually means wheel in Sanskrit. And in Hindi, it means wheel of spinning energy. So a chakra is like a whirling vortex, like powerhouse of energy. And it's in those energy centers that many of the energetic influences from our thoughts, our beliefs, and the foods that we eat, the colors and the vibrations of everything that surrounds us influences those areas. And so the clearer your thoughts are, for example, in the higher chakra and the spirituality chakra, the higher your thinking is, the higher vibration your thoughts are, the more clarity you will have, and so forth and so on. We're going to, throughout the coaching session that we're going to do, we're going to cover each one of the chakra system where relevant. But the thing for you guys to understand is that as you research the chakra system, you're going to begin to understand how this knowledge can be applied to your everyday life, so that you can utilize other modalities in conjunction with what this information gives you to bring more power, to bring more joy, to bring more physical, mental, and emotional well-being to your life.
So what we'd like to talk about now is really solving the mystery of the chakra system. And what I'd like you to take a look at is actually in your workbook, the information that you wanted to look at, the piece that you said was an issue that you would really like to look at in your life and bring attention to. And so if you look at that issue, depending on what it is, for this morning, we're going to talk about it as if it was a physical issue that was going on. Perhaps you are somebody that has been suffering from different stomach issues, and really like to look at that. And what we want to encourage you to do is about the chakra system as an overlay. Like in the old days, people used overhead systems and they had that plastic piece that they put up and could project it on the wall. Is looking at the chakra system as an overlay that you put over your physical body, and you take a look at that to see where the symptoms that you have in your body show up in the chakra system. And once you look at the symptoms, for example, if you were having gastric distress, you look at the third chakra. You could then take a look at that chakra and ask what representation is of the chakra. For that one, it's about setting boundaries and being able to define your space is one of the elements of the third chakra. So you might ask yourself, how are people invading my space? How are people, how am I knowing up, standing up for myself and really allowing people to step into space? And when we can look at that as an option, we start to see how we can use persistent healing.
Yeah, and it's really it's beautiful because the chakra system is energetic, and so it's not visible to the eye, the physical eye. You can't see it in an X-ray. Like if you had an X-ray done of your lungs, you could see your lungs. You could see. You guys know what I'm talking about. So you can't do an X-ray of the chakra system. Science has really come far, and we can now photograph auras, for example. But our human experience is comprised of a lot of different levels of energy fields. There's the ethereal field that covers the physical body, and then there's the emotional field and the astral field and the mental field. And so there's a lot of energetic fields that we have to address. So, but the mystery of it all is that, okay, so now what? How do we make all this happen? And what Bonnie and I have discovered is that utilizing the tools that we're going to introduce you to is one way that we can utilize the chakra system as a model, and like Bonnie said, like an overlay on an aspect of your life. And so we're going to move into now the practical piece of this webinar, which is really what our focus is. You guys are going to be able to go back and research chakra systems, and you're going to be able to go back and research a lot of this. But right now, we want to move into the section where you get to participate, and one of you is going to be able to get a spot-on coaching and guidance that will help everyone on the call on a specific area of your life. So this is your opportunity. Please use the chat tool, and then we will promote you into a panelist so that you can speak out loud and share with us what is an aspect of your life that you would like us to help you understand how you can use the chakra system and other modalities to bring relief, to bring joy, to bring a healing to that area. So if any of you worked on the workbook and have an area that you would like to share, if you would please let us know by sending us a chat. And I know that you all are very shy. We've got a lot of viewers on here. We have over 15 viewers here. I'd like to I know that you might be shy. One of the things that we're really promising is that there's going to be a very high level of integrity and respect and love for you to receive the coaching and the guidance from both Bonnie and me in regards to the aspect that you are working on. Okay, nobody's sending a chat. While we're waiting for somebody to get the courage to do that, I want to share with all of you an aspect of my life that I've been working on that has been a recurrent, it's been more like a recurrent theme. Oh wait, I've got somebody that is, so Sarah, you're saying you've been working with your third chakra. Is there something that you would like to share with us that you would like some live coaching on?
We're waiting. If you want some coaching, go ahead and agree to it, and then we can promote you.
Okay, so we have someone is letting go of the past with an aspect of infidelity and still affecting my relationship with my husband and intimacy. Okay, great.
What would you like?
Why don't we work with that one, because that is really a fabulous one, Anna. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Okay, so the aspect of Anna's life is in regards to letting go of the past with an aspect of infidelity, still affecting her with her husband. So what I'm getting from this is that so that you can then fully focus on unconditional love and unconditional flow of energy and bliss with your current husband and intimacy. Okay, awesome. So if we look at the chakra, Bonnie, can you go back to the chakra diagram that we have?
So let me ask you a question. Do you want to talk to Anna now?
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and coach her now. She can hear us.
Okay. Just making sure.
Okay, so let's go. Yes. So Anna, if you, and this is for everybody, okay? Anna was the brave one to talk about this, but this is really for everybody. We have all experienced infidelity in our life at one degree or another, because a spouse or because a lover or because a friend in some degree did something to betray us. And so we've all experienced this. So for everybody, this is opportunity for you to look in your life and see, where has there been infidelity? Where has there been an issue of lack of trust where someone, or betrayal? And how do we put that in this chart? And if you think is infidelity, normally we are talking about a sexual aspect, right? So infidelity doesn't always have to be sexual, because it could be, it doesn't have to actually get to be sexual, but there's always some kind of energetic aspect of it that could be sexual. Okay, so first thing we notice is that this is in the sacral chakra, which is the second chakra. That's the sacral sexuality chakra. Now, there's also the relationship aspect, which has to do with, of course, unconditional love and being able to be in a relationship. That has to do with the heart chakra, which is the love center, okay? Or the heart center is where love is. This is where we are influenced in our relationships, both giving and receiving love. So right now we have those two chakras involved. And then there's the power center, which is the navel chakra, or the third chakra, which is yellow. So right away, these three chakras are impacted. But then you can also see the communication is probably going to be impacted too, which is the fifth chakra. So if you are experiencing infidelity or have experienced it in the past and it's affecting your relationship right now, it may affect the way that you communicate to your current lover or to your current relationship. Your communication is going to be impacted. So all of these areas, those in particular, are they're all going to be impacted, but those in particular. So Anna, if you could write on there, if you look at all these areas, are you experiencing anything physical? Now, the sexual chakra, of course, is going to be, the location of it is right above, it's right below your belly button. It's above your sacral chakra. And this is actually, it's right lower abdomen, navel area. It's a kind of like an orange color. And its functions are creative, and there's physical vitality is located in the area. So if you're experiencing an issue that's related to this infidelity and it shows up maybe somehow with inflammation of your sexual organs or anything in that area, then that's how it would show up. Now, if it's impacting you more like in the stomach area, like maybe you have stomach aches, whenever you think about this past relationship, that would impact you in your power center. And then obviously in the heart center, which I think is what your question more was like, because it's affecting your relationship with your husband. So I think it's more about forgiveness. So Anna, if you could just indicate to me if I'm on the right track to point it back down to the heart section. Okay, low sexual drive. Okay, she just responded, low sexual drive. Okay, great. Whew, so that's awesome. Thank you so much. So the low sexual drive can definitely be impacted by that. So let's talk a little bit about what some of the things that you can do, Anna. Now, knowing and noticing that that low sexual drive could be an after effect of infidelity in the past, you can then begin exercises that will bring strength to that area. When you bring strength to that lower chakra, to that second chakra area, you will begin then to reclaim and heal the power that you have in that chakra. So some of the things that you can do to nourish that chakra is to expose yourself to orange foods. You can eat fruits that are orange. You can also utilize gems and minerals. For example, amber, citrine, and peach aventurine. And these are all things that you have. These are crystals that could help you to. The thing that we want to focus on is that you breathing into that area and then looking at your thought systems. Whenever you can actually say, oh, I am probably being past relationship, and that relationship was in the past. I no longer need to be impacted by that. The past is in the past, and now I am here in the present. And as you're saying that, close your eyes, put your hand on that second chakra, and then send love to it, and feel that love going from your thought system, your brain function as a thought, a really powerful thought. I don't have to worry about that past relationship. That's in the past. It no longer affects me. Even if you don't believe it, it's a really good way to start the healing process. Allow that thought to heart, allow yourself to feel love for yourself. Allow yourself to feel forgiveness. Know you are capable of doing, and then move into it and breathe into it. Allow it to move down into that aspect. That's one way of providing some healing there. Okay, Bonnie, you want to say something?
Yeah, absolutely. So on same subject, chakra, because that's a particular one for me as well.
Bonnie, something's going on with your voice. It's going like a million miles an hour.
Really?
Okay, there you go. You're back.
Like, come on. So when we take a look at the chakra system and we know where we need to work, another way that we can utilize the chakras to really start to heal is to do a meditation on the chakra that we need to work on, and take a look at how we need to heal, and take a look at how we need to love ourselves. So regardless of which chakra is your place to work, all of us can do this. You can put your hand on your throat, you can put your hand on your heart, put your hand on your navel, wherever it is that you need to pay attention to. And what you do is take a few minutes to send some love there, to remember that in the end, this is all about love. And so we can actually sit and just say, you know, I love my throat. I love what it does. I love the way it communicates for me, that it expresses myself. I love when I tell people how I feel, or whatever happens to come up for you. It's a meditation practice to really bring some attention to the chakra that is looking for some attention. So I like to think of this kind of like a 2-year-old sometimes, where I really have to go in and love myself, go in and love my third chakra, love my stomach, love, you know, stepping into my own power and just soothing it. And that's okay. You're all right. You can be okay. It's all right. You don't have to get worked up about this. You can relax. I love you. And send that kind of information to our bodies or to our issues. And remember, that's what it comes down to. We want to be able to ourselves and allow ourselves to be who we are without getting worked up about a particular issue.
Mm-hmm. Very great. So we had someone else talk about healing negatively from negativity that comes from arguments with my ex-husband. And she's saying that she's still affected by him every time they have an argument. And so I would love to share with you that part of so the fifth chakra is the communication chakra. And so it's really how you are communicating with someone. But if you're being impacted by arguments by someone, there's more work to do besides just the fifth chakra. These are, a lot of what might be impacting you is in the heart chakra that has to do with forgiveness, or that has to do with lack of compassion, or either one of you. So when you're experiencing those arguments, it would be good for you to step away for a second and then notice what part of your body is feeling especially impacted in that moment. We become highly sensitive when we're able to close our eyes and pay attention to what area is this impacting me. So the next time that you're having an argument with your ex-husband, see what's the area that's most impacted. It might be your heart. It might be your stomach area. Maybe you instantly get a stomach ache when you're having this argument. So then you know that, yes, working with your fifth chakra is important, because you want to be able to open up that communication and have it flow and have it be effortless. But you also want to work on what's if you're being impacted in the stomach area, maybe that has to do more with that you feel out of control, or that you feel that you're not being powerful in that moment. And then you'll have to pay more attention. Now, here's one thing that I really want to say that I have found to be so true. And there's not that many things in the world that I think are true, but I think this is true. And that is that everything in our life, every single person in our life, every single circumstance in our life, every single condition in our life is here because we attracted it somehow. Every single thing. It so often is easy to point the finger and say, oh, well, I'm having a bad day because so-and-so treated me badly, or because so-and-so gave me bad news, or because so-and-so fill in the blank. And sometimes we can even point the finger at other things, like, for example, politics, the president, our mayor, the principal at my children's school, the teacher, my child's teacher. It's her fault or his fault that my child is not doing well in school. So we have the tendency to want to look outside of ourselves to find the solutions of why we're in pain, or why there's some kind of uneasiness within us. But I believe that everything in our life, we attract it into our life by the vibration that we're putting out. And so it's important to take responsibility. And when you're confronted with an unpleasant situation, an unpleasant person, an unpleasant conversation, take a moment to take a deep breath and then ask yourself, why is this here? Why did I bring this to myself? What is it that I need to understand? How is this being a reflection of something about me? Bonnie is writing a book on the laws of the universe, and we were talking last night in our Akashic Records book club about the law of reflection. The world reflects back to you what you are putting out. And so always ask yourself, what's my responsibility in this? How can I take ownership? Because when you take ownership of everything in your life, that's where your power comes from. And this is all third chakra work right there. It's the power center right there around areas, right? Above your belly. You can actually get everything in your life.
Awesome. That's absolutely true, that everything that comes into our awareness is there for us to take a look at. It is kind of like the warning sign that, oh, if this keeps coming into my life, then that must be something that is here for me to take a look at. If I have a week when I feel like people are constantly dropping dropping bombs on me. You know, I go to work and I'm surprised that I was given this assignment to do, or this person attacks me in the hallway. And there's just a series of events that happen in close proximity. I want to take a step back and look at that and ask myself, you know, what am I attracting? What am I saying either to myself or to other people that is calling this practice into my awareness? Why are people constantly, you know, dropping bombs on me? How am I doing that? Is there a place that I am doing that in my own life? Like maybe I am busy attacking, you know, my children, or I'm busy attacking my husband or other people around me. And so it's everything that happens in our life is an opportunity for us to take a look at and see, how are we doing that in our own lives? That a universal law of reflection is very tool for us to look at what we want to heal, clear of our awareness. So are we ready to, Lily, are we ready to explain?
Yes, we are. And I did see that there was somebody else wanted to know about working on purpose. And so we're going to include that in the Akashic Records we're going to do. So some of you have participated with us before, and many of you on this call know about Akashic Records. Some of you have never heard of it. Some of you may know a little bit about it. And then the same thing with theta healing, which those are the two tools that we're going to be using here. Theta healing is a healing modality that utilizes a very deep state of relaxation that the practitioner goes into. It's almost like it is a state used in hypnosis. And the brain slows down to a very slow frequency, sensations and unconscious when you go into a theta state systems. So with Akashic Records readings, you can go on the 8th Chakra Company. You can also visit Bonnie's website. Bonnie, what's your website?
BonnieSaxWellness.com.
Okay, so BonnieSaxWellness.com. You can go there and read all about Akashic Records, because Bonnie has been reading records for several years now, and she's got a lot of information on there for those of you that are not too familiar with the Akashic Records. But basically, the Akashic Records are like a library, if you will, an ethereal library that holds all the knowledge and information of humanity, past, present, and future. It's what makes it available or possible for a scientist in Germany and a scientist in Washington, D.C. to solve an experiment at the same time, simultaneously, which is actually a phenomenon that occurs quite often in the field of science. And that's because that knowledge and information is being channeled to them through the Akashic Records. So I've been participating with Akashic Records for many, many years, literally for over 10 years. I've been utilizing them in the theta practice that I do. But recently, after meeting Bonnie, I learned through Bonnie a prayer, pathway prayer, which was channeled to a woman by the name of Linda Howe. And again, you can read more about that on Bonnie's website. And in utilizing that prayer, my practice in reading the records has been just absolutely gone up the Richter scale. So we're going to now do an Akashic Records reading for all of you that are here on this call. And this reading is going to be not just for those of you that are here live, but also for those of you that will be listening to this recording later, because that is the intention and the request that Bonnie and I made. And we all have masters, teachers, and loved ones in the Akashic Records that are here to give us advice and that are here to guide us and help us heal the wounds in our life. And then the theta healing is going to also be for the group, and it's going to be targeted on what many of you are going through right now, as you have shared it. And magically, the healing that will happen and the reading that will happen will impact everyone. Okay? So we're going to take just a moment, Bonnie and I, to get ourselves centered, and then we're already in the records, by the way, but now we're going to read the records for you all. And so we are recording this, and you're going to have access to it, but I would encourage you to take notes, because as you're listening to this reading, something might really stand out for you that you want to work on later. So I would encourage you to make a note of it so that you can go back to it and find a way to delve into it a little bit more deeply. Okay? Is there anything that you want to say, Bonnie, before we just take a moment?
No, I'm actually ready.
Okay. All right. So I just need a moment to get centered. And Bonnie, if you, whenever you want to get started, is fine with me.
Okay. So here's one of the pieces of information that the masters, teachers, and loved ones, which are the spiritual beings that guide the Akashic records, really want me to pass on to all of you, is that while we sit and talk about issues like we all tend to look at ourselves like a bundle of problems. It's very easy for us, as we're on this phone call today, to start to bring attention to what is wrong with us, what we have an issue with, what we are challenged with. And really want me to a couple minutes. We all are perfect, exact. The things that really is just the things. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. We really want to take a look at the things that are the things that we are looking at as problems and issues and things that aren't going right as really just opportunities for us to fine-tune what is happening in our life. Is really just an opportunity for us to recognize that we planned this life exactly as it's happening, down to the last second. We planned this life and all of the challenges we have. Many of us signed up for lives that we say, no way, I signed up for this. I did not plan to do all of this. But in fact, we did sign up for that. And they really want you to bring some awareness and some understanding that just because we are talking today about our problems, so we want you to look at something that is an issue for you, does not mean that you are not perfect. That does not mean that you are not magnificent, that you aren't powerful, that you don't have the ability to bring everything into your awareness that you really want to bring. And that's a really important point, because what I have been getting is that there are several people on the call who are going in the direction of, oh my gosh, I am so screwed up. I have so many issues. I can't believe I have all of this. And instead, they want you to take a look at the thought that, wow, I can't believe I took on all this stuff. How cool is this? Look at all the things that I said I wanted to take care of in this life. And to bring a little bit of awareness and understanding that we asked for these things, that we know that we can handle them, that in fact, they actually are already handled. We just have to find the answer in the problem. We just have to look a little bit deeper and to come into the awareness that it is already answered. It's already solved. It's a problem that already has been taken care of, and we're just moving through it as a process.
That's great, Bonnie. Thank you. So I'm seeing some images that are really cool, ladies. I'm seeing an image of a golden cord that is coming down from like a cosmic realm, if you will, kind of like picture the Milky Way. In fact, I can actually see the Milky Way, and all of you have seen pictures of the Milky Way. So if you can envision the Milky Way right now. And then I'm seeing like a golden cord coming down into planet Earth and like moving right through the planet. And it almost feels like the Milky Way is somehow anchored in the planet. But then I'm now seeing that cord is really like expanding out energetically into every man, woman, and child on this planet, and then moving cosmic life force through the crown chakra into the bodies of every man, woman, and child on this planet. And then the cord then, it's like it's one cord, but it expands out energetically to cover every man, woman, and child. And then it's moving down through the bottom of the feet and then anchoring it into the center of the planet. And I'm getting a very strong message for this particular group that is on this call, which is a community. This is the community of the Enlightened Ladies Circle that is part of the Pilot Circle, which is really a foundational circle because we're establishing a lot of very key elements. And something that your masters, teachers, and loved ones, all of you, want you to know is that you are a child of the universe, so to speak. And I know that you've heard that phrase before, but they want you to think of it in terms of oneness with all of life and oneness with all of humanity, oneness with source and oneness with the life force that is within you. When you wake up in the morning, you instantly have a sensation of life. And when you go to bed at night, you instantly have a sensation of rest. Well, they want you to know that when you go to bed at night, you're not really resting because the spirit within you is continuing to work in other dimensions while your physical body is resting in the physical world. Your emotional body, your astral body, your ethereal body is having experiences in other dimensions. All of that together constitutes the universe of knowledge and wisdom that is available to you. And for many of you on this call, there is a greater opportunity for you to step into utilizing resources that you may not have considered in the past, or perhaps you have an attitude of that I can do it myself, I can do it on my own, I don't need help. And so it's important right now where you are in the evolution of your life in this space and time, and where this planet actually is meeting this time and space, and where we're meeting each other. It's important for you to be able to open your heart to receiving resources and to be seeing them. In other words, it's important that you not only look for what are the resources available to you, but that you actually access them and then that you receive them. Because many of you are very good at giving of yourselves. You give of your heart, you give of your love, you give your compassion, you give your understanding. To others is so much easier for you, for most others, but it's harder for you to give it to yourself and for you to have a forgiveness and a compassion for yourself. And if you view the oneness of all this community called humanity in connection with the cosmic source of divinity, you are then able to step into a place where you can actually have compassion and forgiveness for yourself and allow the millions and millions of resources available to you to enter your heart and to guide you and teach you. Because the reality is that all of you know everything you need to know to not only survive, but to thrive and to experience joy and bliss on this planet. And for most of you, it's a matter of remembering really who you are. And so once you get on that path of commitment to knowing who you are, that universal fountain that is eternal of source will guide you and put the things in your path that will help you fulfill on that commitment to remember who you are and remember why you're here. All of that leads to ultimate healing in all aspects of your body, but you have to stay on the journey, you have to stay on the path, and you have to have the discipline and the commitment of knowing who you are, remembering who you are, and then staying the course. And then when you see the resources made available to you, sometimes they're thrown at your feet and you don't even see them. Once they're made available to you, you have to pick them up off the floor and you have to hold them and cuddle them and say, thank you, Source. Thank you, Higher Self, for sending this to me. This is part of what I've been looking for. It's another little part of the puzzle that I'm trying to create here, that I'm trying to build, that has to do with knowing who I am and why I came here. And as you do that, recognition of those resources and application of those resources and tools and knowledge and wisdom that you're receiving, as you utilize them more and appreciate them the more, then more of them will be revealed to you and showered upon you.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And it is the biggest key for you to walk away from today is that you are totally loved, that you are totally without question adored and loved, and you have access to everything you ever wanted. That I can say to you that, wow, they're giving me this, like, I can say to you that you just have to ask, to get into the practice of asking for what you need. They really want you to start practicing asking. If you want a parking space and they're laughing like this is a simple thing, they acknowledge you really want a parking spot, is to ask for that parking space wherever you want it to be. And that will be a beginning for you to start to understand how loved and adored you are, how powerful you are, and how much access you have to these kinds of things. And as you start with a parking space, you can then start asking for additional things. And it's like, you might ask for little things first because that's what you feel like you deserve. But as you start to step into this understanding of how powerful you are and how loved and adored you are, you will start asking for bigger things. You will start creating the things that you really want to create. And they will seem like they magically appear before you, when in fact you've had this ability all the time. You are just starting to step into the possibility.
Okay, so we're being guided to download some programs through Theta for all of you here. And the Akashic Records is a beautiful realm that envelops us. I've had sessions where people literally cry because they are so moved of the love that they are receiving. And I'm getting goosebumps now because there's so much love being poured out into all of you that are listening to this call, and those of you that will listen to the recording later on. There is just so much love being poured here, and we're being guided now that one of the areas that many of you are having a difficulty with is a belief system that has you say to yourself, something is wrong here. So if you take a moment and you look at your life, the way that you react to certain circumstances, certain relationships, certain conditions of your life, whether it's a physical condition that you have, or a broken relationship that you have, or maybe you haven't filed your taxes. It could really be anything. When you look at those situations, conditions, relationships in your life that cause you a little stress, most likely underneath all of that, there's a thought that you have that there's something like this, or a version of it. Something is wrong here, or something is wrong with me, or I'm not doing something right, or oh my God. So, but it has to do with something is wrong here. So we're going to do Theta now for those of you that are not interested in losing that kind of programming, you'll be able to keep it. So don't worry. But I would say that probably 100% of you would love to be able to get rid of programming that has you say something is wrong here when confronted. And then we're going to replace that program with, I am powerful, graceful, and have access to unlimited resources, knowledge, and wisdom. And we're going to download that for you so that you can connect with the innermost central power and strength that you've been given through the Creator, through the source of your life, whatever you want to call that source is, doesn't really matter, but whatever that source is that gives you life, that has you breathe, and that has you move, that energy through your body that has you move and think and all of that. So So we're going to download now a powerful program for each of us that says, I am powerful, I am graceful, I am in gratitude for all the abundance of resources that I have available. I now receive the ability to have not only recognition, but access to resources and power, and how to use those resources and power. And so if you could now in your mind mentally say yes to that program, it will now get downloaded, displacing the program that says something is wrong here. And as I'm viewing this downloading and deletion of that program of something is wrong here, or something close to that for whatever it is for you, I'm going to pause for a moment, and then I'm going to describe to you what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing a chalice, kind of like it's like a golden chalice, but it's actually more it has a aquamarine hue to it, and there's a very bright light shining around it. And this light is moving through every single one of you, moving light of love, light of eternal wisdom. It's a very healing light, and it's coursing through everyone here, through your energetic system, and even those of you that will hear this recording later. It's coursing through your energy field, bringing healing, bringing completion to areas in your life that you've been incomplete about in regards to wherever you have thought that something is wrong here, and allowing you to access the power that is already within you, that allows you to recognize and appreciate the powerful resource of who you are as connected to the universe and to the light force that we have been given and provided for. And this light is like an aqua green light, and it's moving through all of you. Some of you may be experiencing a little lightheadedness, or some of you might experience just a little just gentle breeze, whatever, however it feels for you. And even if you don't feel anything, please know that you are receiving this gift. I would ask all of you to take a deep breath in through your mouth and out through your, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Okay. That is very beautiful.
Wow. I'll speak for the group, Lily. Wow. Absolutely amazing work. I really felt that energy.
And so if you, just another quick message, if Bonnie, if you could go back to the last slide just for a second. I'm getting some other strong messages about how part of why we're here is because our planet is, oh my goodness, I'm getting all these electrical movements through my body. A big reason why we're all here, and there's no coincidence that those of you that are on this call and will be listening to this recording later, no coincidence that those of you that are here have a yearning inside of you and a knowing that there's a big purpose for why you're here. And part of that is because our planet is in huge need right now of healing in many, many different areas. And so part of what Bonnie and I are doing through Eighth Chakra Company and through Enlightened Ladies Circle is to have all of us be aware of that, because if we can heal ourselves, we will heal the planet. And really, that's what this work is about. It's about each one of us experiencing the healing that we need so that the planet can heal.
Absolutely. I love that. I absolutely love that. So we would like to encourage you to do a couple of things. The first is to join us for the next Enlightened Ladies Circle session, which is going to be on physical health. and that is going to happen on Tuesday, October 4th at 11:30. And just like today, it is going to be recorded. So if you can't be there, we will send you the recording as long as we have your information. So everybody who is on the call now and listening to this in delayed playback will definitely have access to it then. And we would like to also encourage you to share this with other friends. You can go to the 8th Chakra, 8thchakra.com website and click on the link there to join the next session for those people who are not registered. And we are very excited to have you there. I would also like to encourage all of you, if you're on Facebook, to stop by the Enlightened Ladies Circle page and make sure you like the page, and then pop in every once in a while to just check to see what has been posted there, because we will be posting additional information on the chakras and things that we think you all will really enjoy reading. So we want to encourage you to do that.
Awesome. And then one thing I want to add, ladies, is that we're going to be doing probably 2 or 3 circles, which will then culminate in an annual retreat. And we're going to begin to look at, and if any of you have suggestions of where we can do a retreat, which will be packed with experiential work, that where you will literally get to experience a lot of the learning and a lot of the teaching that we're doing. So please do stay in touch with us in our community. We're building a community here. Community is necessary for healing the planet, and that is what we're all about. And then lastly, I want to let you all know too, because we've received some comments about it, is that we're also going to be launching an Enlightened Men's Circle, which we're excited about. And we are looking actually for the host that is going to, it will be a male that will co-host that webinar with us. So if any of you know a man or a male in your life that would be an excellent host for this, please bubble up their name to us. We would greatly appreciate it. And we have a circle too, of course, but we're going to be interviewing hosts for the Enlightened Men's Circle, because we certainly don't want to leave our beautiful counterparts in the universe out of this incredible conversation.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your time, your love, your attention, and your feedback. If you have any, please definitely send us an email. We would love to hear from you, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Yay. Thank you, everyone. So much love for you. Bye.
Okay. Share.